Hello everyone! This is Loopy Liss and welcome back to Planet Zoo, where we are doing another speed build video today. Now, we are making a habitat for the Galapagos giant tortoise. Yes, this is going to be a natural barriered habitat. I'm going to try that now, because we've done it with the barriers quite a lot, and I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different today. So we are using our wonderful use of rocks to form a natural barrier, and this is going to be a walk-in habitat, so the guests can have a little walk in and see the tortoises right up close. So that is very, very fun indeed. Now don't forget, if you enjoy the video, feel free to click that like button, because that is always appreciated. And of course, if you haven't, you can also subscribe, because that's awesome too. But yes, the Galapagos giant tortoise. Now I wanted to give them enough room, but also not too much room, and I feel like I've accomplished that with this kind of space. Now there's gonna be... I planned for a little bit of water to be in this, but not too much water, because I don't see them going into the water too much. I feel like they'd be wandering the land a little bit more, and approaching the guests a little bit more. So I've kept a little bit of water into this habitat, but not too much, and you'll see that very soon. It's got a little water effect going down as well, to like a little waterfall, so that's kind of fun. I haven't done that before. I haven't played with any of the effects before, but we have today, and I think it looks pretty good. Now, a fun fact, as always. The word Galapagos comes from the old Spanish word Galápago, which the original explorers used to mean saddle, due to the shape of the tortoise's shells. It's quite mad, actually. When the islands were first discovered, people used to ride the saddleback tortoises. However, this is now illegal because it's very bad for the tortoise. So, you know, no riding tortoises in modern day life. Probably common sense, really. But yeah, that's interesting. So Galapagos basically means saddle. So they basically saddleback tortoises, saddleback giant tortoises. If I'm reading this right, that sounds about right. Yeah, that's interesting. Right, what I'm doing here is I'm making a little hard shelter area naturally out of the rocks. So the rocks will collectively come around to form the barrier of the habitat, but they also come to collide and collect in one of the corners to make a hard shelter for them, so they can go and sleep in peace. And another thing that I wanted to do, because this is going to be our walk-in habitat, obviously they need to go somewhere when they're feeling a little bit overwhelmed by the people around. So that's what I'm doing with some of these rocks. I'm kind of collecting some of the rocks outwards, and I do this on the other side of the habitat as well, just so they have somewhere to hide away from like the guests that are coming in, because obviously they can't be surrounded at all times. That's just not... Like, if you were an animal and you were constantly being watched and surrounded by these people, then you'd obviously want to be able to go, oh, okay, I'm done with this now. I don't feel like being watched anymore. I'm gonna go hide around here and have some me time. I'm gonna just chill out over here, you know. And it's the same with us as people, isn't it, really? Sometimes you just kind of had enough and you kind of just need to be by yourself for a little bit, and that's completely fine. And I really like just kind of like lazing on my own sometimes. It's great to be around friends, but sometimes when you just want to like lie down and be on your own, it's really nice just to chill out. Another interesting thing about the Galapagos giant tortoise, basically their fights are quite interesting. Male tortoises, they kind of glare at each other, open their mouths and raise their heads as high as possible, and then that's it. The highest head wins. I actually, that is something that I had no idea about. But think about it, how else would they actually try and fight for dominance? They can't exactly punch each other. It's not gonna be like that. They can't exactly, they're not the quickest of animals, are they? So I guess that really does make sense, that that is the way that they would fight for dominance. Anywho, I was just trying to figure out the path right there. I wasn't sure exactly how to go about the positioning of it, because I didn't want it to go right through. I wanted them to be able to walk in. Okay, cool, tortoise, awesome, seen it. Gonna walk back out now. And I didn't want them to be able to go all the way through. I wanted them to get a snippet, like the tortoises can come across along this path if they want to. The guests can see them. Amazing, cool, but also that other rock bit right there. If the tortoises are bad enough for the people, they can go around there. I'll put a little bedding in there later, and they can go sleep around there, and it's absolutely cozy. It's all good, all fine. As usual, this habitat will be up on the workshop. I did discover at the end of this, after putting everything together and going to create the blueprint, this is a fun fact about the game. If the rocks that you place are far into the ground, I don't know if this would be like this for everyone, but for me, it would not save into the blueprint. Yeah, that was a strange thing that was happening, and I realised that. And so you'll notice if you do download this, it will look slightly different when it comes to the rock height. Nothing major, it'll still be the same as in plants and the terrain and stuff like that. But it will look slightly different with the rock heights. Now, I had to lift them up and then they show up in the blueprint. So that is something that Frontier might want to look into, because that that really confused me, if I was honest, because everything was in, it was in the barrier outline as well, the null barrier. It was within that, because I moved them all in a little bit, moved the barrier out a little bit. And it was all perfectly fine in that sense, but then they were just disappearing and I was really confused. But I figured it out, so it'll be up on the workshop along with my other speed builds. Post-beta, the beta ones will not be up there, unfortunately, because I do not have them saved. If you do go back and watch them, of course, I do have some speed builds from the beta in my playlist if you want to look on my channel. But yes, as we work on the foliage now, I have one more fact for you. And this is a really interesting one, actually. Galapagos tortoises begin their lives in a pea-soaked sandhole. Yeah, that I am not lying about that. That is a thing, apparently. The mother digs a hole in the sand and promptly proceeds to pee all over it. This is done so that the sand won't collapse on the eggs, actually, which is, you know, that's actually quite smart. She then buries her eggs 12 inches deep, which is 30 centimeters for those looking for the centimeters of that. And then they are covered completely with sand. And another one that is quite, I'm not sure on this right now, but warmer the sand, more females will hatch. Yeah, the warmer the sand, the more females in the eggs. That is interesting. Also, a Galapagos tortoise can lay up to 16 eggs at a time. The eggs are hard-shelled and are about as big as tennis balls. So, yeah, that's interesting. But goodness, 16 eggs. That is a lot of eggs. And the baby tortoises have to actually dig their way out of the sand when they are born. They dig their way out, and there they are. Welcome to the world! There we go, just finishing up on fixing the terrain as I lifted some of it just a little bit to give a little variance rather than like completely flat ground. Place the beds down, and now let's have a look at the tortoises in action. Here they are enjoying every part of this habitat. They are wandering across the path, which I did not expect, and getting under people's feet slowly. But yes, this habitat will be up on the workshop, so keep an eye out for that. In the description there will be a link. And I will definitely be continuing with these types of videos, so if you enjoy them, don't forget to hit that bell and turn notifications on so you never miss a Planet Zoo video by me ever again. Anywho, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you could like, comment, subscribe, share this video, I'd really appreciate that too. And I will see you in the next video. Take care now. Bye bye.